What is going on, everybody? ZakRC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to episode number 10 of the F123 Driver Career Mode series for the Austrian Grand Prix weekend here at the Spielberg circuit, the Red Bull Ring. If you guys did miss the last episode, make sure to go check that one out before you see this one as we get right into today's action. Looking first at our new rivalry for this episode. Now, I did say in the last episode that Gasly was starting our rivalry in that race, but I was wrong. So it's our first race against him in this Grand Prix weekend. Hopefully we can get the edge on him this first time round. So first thing to do before we go out for our qualifying lap is change our ICE. We've worn out the first two of them quite quickly here. We're nearing the halfway stage of the season, so we have to conserve our usage of those in order to try and get to the end of the season. We might have to take a grip penalty at some stage as well. But pushing on into our first qualifying effort. Of course, Austria, one of the shortest laps of the season, if not the shortest, so very small racetrack, plenty of drama. Will no doubt reach us over the course of the sprint and the race itself. So here we go then for our first qualifying lap up the hill into turn one, keeping our distance from that curb on the inside. Don't go on that too much and lose any time we think we might gain. And now coming to the last sector to complete that first lap. Now turns 9 and 10, we have to nail this in order to carry the speed to the last few corners and complete the lap in style. Way too wide in the entry there, and wide on the exit too. Poor run through turn 9 and braking a bit too early perhaps for turn 10. So not a fantastic run through those last two corners, the two right-handers. 1 minute 0.677 as we go over the line to complete our first lap of the session, and that puts us P15 right now. So only a few minutes to go. Of course, we went out there a bit later thanks to the component change, and now we've only got a few more minutes left here to finish this one off. So there we go, a minute and a half left in the session as we go for our second lap. I'll probably do one more here just to make it round to the checkered flag at the end, see if we make it through to Q2 or not. Of course, looking to try and get back in form of qualifying, which has been a bit up and down so far this season. We've had some great races and admittedly some not so poor races, plus the Q3 appearance in Saudi Arabia, which unfortunately I lost the footage of. But P10 is our best starting spot yet in terms of starting for a main race. Into the last two corners, again wide through turn 9 that time. Turn 10, that's a bit better. We're up by a few tenths to finish off this lap. So over the line we go. P14 is going to be very close for us come the end of the session. We're down to P15 and the checkered flag falls. Is it enough though? Have we got enough for lap to make it into Q2? We have P15. Fantastic stuff there. So beating our teammate once again. Not beating Gasly that time around. Of course, there's still another session. If he gets knocked out with us, and that could help us potentially. Of course, looking to try and make Q3 way too wide there in turn 9 again on our first effort in Q2. These last two corners, we are not nailing them right now. 1 minute 5.9 over the line, which is faster than our Q1 effort. So we're making improvements there, but still need to improve an extra few tenths here. So we're up going into the last sector on our final lap. The checkered flag now fallen with the last car to come to the line. A tenth and a half up is going to the last corners. But again, another mistake. That's cost us massively there. Look how much time we've just lost in these last couple of corners. We've lost about 3 tenths or so, I want to say, given how far up we were going into the last two corners. And that will put us P11, unfortunately. So knocked out in Q2. But I'd say still a solid qualifying effort. So look at the bottom 5 here. So ourselves, Ocon, Albon, Bottas and Zhou Guanyu all eliminated in Q2. Gasly, our next rival, moves on to the pole position shootout for the sprint race. Of course, we're only a few places off the points. So anything could still happen. We'll have to wait and see. But now it's time for the sprint.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Cohen, Ocon, Albon, Bottas, Zhou, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Sargent, De Vries, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
Here we go then, gunning for points in the second sprint race of the season here in Austria, starting from P11 on the grid. P8 is the last points finishing slot, so that'll be our main target for this one, and of course try and beat Gasly as well. Of course, Gasly, I forget, we had a bit of a run-in last time with him at Canada, so we're going to try and avoid that same sort of thing today. Of course, we were in the race, both of us, I think we both managed to put it back in the end from what I remember. So lining up on the grid here, looking to try and get the edge on him. Got into that first corner. Alonso there in front of us. Ocon, Gasly's teammate just behind us, and Albon on the soft tyres. Could be a threat later on this race. We'll have to wait and see. Here we go now. The lights are on for the Austrian Grand Prix Sprint, the second round of sprint races this season. Lights out, foot to the floor. Go, go, go. We're on the way. Gasly gets a poor getaway there on our right-hand side. Going to dive to the inside of Alonso. I'm almost considered 3 wide with Piastri and Sainz into turn 1. Oh, contact there. We're a bit too close to the left-hand side of the racetrack. Alonso tags us a little bit there going through the first corner, but we get away unscathed. Alonso back into P8 now, and Sainz, our next target in the Ferrari. So we charge up the hill towards turn number 3. Sainz goes to the outside of his eye on Alonso into that right-hander. We're going to stay by ourselves here. Sainz makes Alonso a bit of contact there between them. Yellow flag just behind us, I think, due to slow cars in the corner, but we get around Sainz with relative ease there on the exit, and I start chasing down Alonso here. 2 places gained already in this one. Going to try and look to the outside, but just not enough room. Alonso cuts us off a bit there. On to lap 2, Alonso now 2 seconds to the good compared to us here in P9. So we've got some work to do to try and close him back down, but Carlos Sainz, our main focus right now as he comes down the main straight. Sainz looking to pressure us, going towards turn 1, going to pull to the right, then the left, going to try and pull the switch back on us into turn 1. Sainz around the outside, we go late on the brakes, holding our line, and Sainz goes a bit wide there to accommodate us on the racing surface. So we stay in P9 for now, but Sainz will be all over us here over the course of this one, so be very careful for him, looking further back, and he got up the hill once again to 3. Coming towards the end of lap number 3 now, Sainz has DRS on us for the first time in this race, and he's going to use to his advantage here. Down the main straight and goes to the outside once again into turn 1. Pulls clear of us. Going to try and dive to the inside if we can, but no room to go for it. No point going for something that aggressive. And now we get DRS this time, so it's to our advantage. We're going to use our DRS as well. Going up towards turn 3. Once again, going to pull to the left-hand side around the outside of the Spaniard in the Ferrari, going towards the corner. Into the braking zone we go. Perhaps a bit too wide there than we might have liked. Sainz still there underneath us. We're going to use our overtake and a better traction on the exit to pull back in front. So holding on to P9 here, doing a great job so far. A third of the way into the sprint race, but Alonso still pulling away now, 4.3 seconds in front. Sainz looking to the inside there. We had to defend from him ever so slightly. He didn't get enough to run to really go for that move, and we managed to cut him off just in time there. He's going to go for it one more time here, going towards turn 9. That's one of our weakest spots on the circuit in qualifying. Going to pull Sainz all the way to the right-hand side of the track. Contact there. We've hit the back, his back left tyre. He gets around us there nice and easy. Aside from that contact, lucky neither one of us sustained damage, so we take blame for that. But DRS deployed for us now. Going to pull to the inside of Sainz. This time we get the run going to turn 1 as we begin lap 5, and we'll have DRS this time as well because we didn't quite get around him last time. Sainz over the curbs there, so we managed to get in front of him as he loses momentum, and now has to deal with a charging Zhou and Gasly there behind him. We're back in P9 here and looking to hold on to that position for the remainder of the race if we can. But of course, Zhou, Sainz, Gasly very fast, going wide there in turn number 3. Poor exit, and Sainz will be right there with us. There he goes on the right hand side. So, well, that's Guan Yu Zhou who's gone through. Never mind Carlos Sainz. Zhou's made light work of the Ferrari. Let's try and get him back here on our battery as we go towards turn 4, looking to try and make a move, but can't quite get close enough to him. Yellow flag behind us. AlphaTauri, so that's our teammate Nick De Vries, whose woes continue here in 2023. It's been a torrid start to his Formula 1 career, and I wonder how much longer AlphaTauri will put up with the performances, because despite, this looks like an internal failure, so he's had to pull that car over and retire, but even so the performances have been lackluster by comparison to what we've been doing on the racetrack. So De Vries perhaps in trouble this early on in the season, just 10 rounds into his Formula 1 career. Problems like this can't be helping his case when he's trying to fight for his place at AlphaTauri. On to lap 6 here. De Vries the only retirement now this race, closing in on Zhou once again. Going to pull to the outside, going to try and get around him into the braking zone. We go around the outside. Definitely the preferred line compared to how we went last time around turn number 3, and in front of Zhou with the DRS and ERS to our advantage, so pulling away from there. But Sainz gets back around him very quickly, and now Sainz wants deja vu. It's another try here, going towards turn 1, halfway through the sprint race now, just 6 more laps to go. We are fighting for the last of the points paying places here. Sainz pulling in front out of turn 1. We've got DRS to our advantage now, and a back to left as well. Yellow flag in front of us. That's one of the Red Bulls who's gone around. That's Sergio Perez, who now sits He sits stagnant there at turn number 3. He's just sat there on the curb. So what's happened here? We're on the inside getting clear of him, but Sainz goes off the track trying to avoid him there. We got a warning for a collision. The safety car has been deployed as well. What on earth has gone wrong with Sergio Perez that has left him stalled there at the exit of turn 3, holding up the rest of the pack here? What on earth has happened to Checo? As you go, we have a look at the replay here. He's fighting with what looks to be Oscar Piastri going into the corner side by side, and Perez on the exit goes too wide, spins out, and gets stuck on that sausage curb, I think, when he tries to recover the car, turns it round, and keep in mind, we're coming alongside Sainz into turn 3 at this point. Perez just sits there stuck, assumably waiting for everyone else to go past. So there we go in the AlphaTauri, but it just holds everyone else up, and Sainz is a victim in this, loses a place or two. He's down to P12 now, and Perez down in P16 of the safety car. We sit now in P8 in the final points paying position on offer. So we come back to the restart here. Hamilton leads Russell and Verstappen, and we now sit in 8th place with an opportunity to take 1 point from the sprint and possibly even gain another one if we can get around Alonso this time. So you have to go full overtake, full balls to the wall, full charge, throw the kitchen sink at it, anything you want to call it. 3 laps to go here in the Austrian Grand Prix sprint. Zhou has had a poor restart behind us. He falls away, so we have to put all our focus on tackling Alonso here, provided he doesn't try and go for Piastri first. Hamilton and Russell lead away up towards turn 3 at the front of the pack. Zhou closing back in. Hulkenberg there in P10. That's going to be a late threat. Going to pull to the inside of Alonso here. Not going to think about what's going on behind us. And on the exit, going to try and get in front of him if we can. ERS deployed, overtake in use. And we're up into P7 now. And now looking to work on Piastri, who's pulling away very quickly here. This is the first race we recorded where McLaren had the extra update. So, of course, they're quite fast at this point. Up comes Hamilton now into the last corner. Take victory in the sprint. Russell will come home in second, making it Mercedes 1-2, Verstappen third, Norris in fourth. But meanwhile, we're defending from Alonso here, trying to claim another point back off us. He's going to pull to the inside on the right hand side of the track, defending from him, but it's P7 in the end. Fantastic.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Oh, well done, guys. Solid sprint today, gained some places. Should be in good step for Sunday. I appreciate everyone's hard work.
So in the end, that safety car gave us a huge advantage, allowed us to gain 2 places in this race. Come on, P7 as Hamilton leads home Russell and Verstappen, Norris 4th, Leclerc 5th, Piastri, the other rookie, in 6th place. Again, us in 7th, Alonso nabs the final points on offer. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, they gave us another point, another 2 points, which ties us with Esteban Ocon and keeps us in front of Gasly for P11 now in the Drivers' Championship. 3 points behind Aston Martin's Lance Stroll. And looking at the constructors, extra points for us is putting us 2 points behind Alfa Romeo and Williams, while Red Bull continue to lead Mercedes, who may have made a little bit of a gain here at the top of the standings. Of course, Perez failing to score on a 1-2 for Mercedes, but it's an excellent job for them. I'll move into the Grand Prix and try and gain some more places. Let's go.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's a short lap here in Spielberg with just 10 corners, 7 to the right and 3 to the left, making up the total distance of 2.6 miles. And expect to see a lot of cars running wide today, especially through the last corner, as the wet conditions make the cars skittish through the downhill sections. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Cohen, Fernando Alonso, Zhou, Sainz, Stroll, Perez, Magnussen, Albon, Gasly, Ocon, Sargent, Bottas, Hulkenberg, and Nick de Vries. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Well, it's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
I won't let you down. Let's do this.
There we go then once again for the Austrian Grand Prix. The main race in the heavens have opened here at the Red Bull Ring, requiring us to use the full wet tyres for this race, which could mean a bit more of a struggle for us. Of course, me particularly, I don't feel like I've ever been good in the wet, so I'm not expecting much from this race. Definitely not expecting to maintain P7 in this Grand Prix. But here we go now for the formation lap, getting underway. Piastri just there in front of us. Of course, we look to try and beat him today. But that would improve McLaren. We could be in real trouble. Alonso there behind us will look to try and get revenge for the sprint finish in the race yesterday. So looking to try and keep him behind as well. Zhou there in P9, and of course Gasly not too far back either. But I think he may have lost places in the sprint. So that's done fantastically there. Lining up now in our grid slot, looking to try and get the best possible launch we can, going towards turn 1 this time around. We've gone a bit too far forward there, and our start position has been reset, failing to park it, so we have to start really far back here. Regardless, we try and get the best we can out of it. 5 red lights now for the Austrian Grand Prix. Held at the lights a long time there, but it's now lights out. Foot to the floor. Go, go, go. Alonso, great getaway there on our right-hand side. Gets the edge of us going into turn number 1. Piastri looking to try and take Leclerc into the first corner. Go dive to the inside of the Spaniard, but not enough room. Tapping the back with his rear wing there and keeping behind him. Zhou there in P9. Good start from him. Trying to take Alonso on the right-hand side here. Look at the spray being kicked up from these full wet weather tyres. We get around Alonso. We're going to try and come back at us immediately here. Pulling to the left-hand side. Let's block him off going into turn 3 on the brakes very early to avoid running into the back of Piastri. Of course, braking zones altered a lot more thanks to the huge amounts of rain on the racetrack here. The standing water is absolutely immense. Piastri, our next target here. We're close to him on the run towards turn 4. Now look to the outside that we did with Alonso in the sprint race, but there's a bit more room for us this time, but we've got a poor entry going in, and Piastri keeps the car in front of us here. But a decent start though. We've maintained P7 after losing it off the line. On to that number 5 now. Piastri 2.2 seconds clear of us now. The lead pack has really pulled away, and Alonso's our main focus as we come through the last 2 corners to complete this 5th lap of this Grand Prix, move on to the 6th. Still a long way to go in this race. Alonso threatening us though, already going to pull to the right hand side if he gets enough run. Never mind, he'll go to the left, we're going to defend the right instead. On the outside it goes into that first corner and looking to try and get in front of us. We get in front on the entry, but on next we go wide there, allowing Alonso to slide right back through with relative ease and reclaim P7 as he pulls away from us very quickly. We're now down to P8 and Lance Stroll and Guan Yu Zhou. Sorry, Sergio Perez will be our next target. Zhou has really fallen away here, but Perez has come on the charge since spinning yesterday. He's out of nowhere now and into the points pen positions already, so he's got a lot of work to catch the leaders. But it could happen, you never know. He's been this fast in the opening stage of the race here. I dare say we'll be fighting him in a lap or 2 as we come on to lap number 7 of this race here. And the yellow flag behind us. What's going on? It looks like one of the Alpines has got some kind of problem there. There's a Haas that looks to have spun out down at turn number 9. So no concern to us to go wide through turn 1 there. Stroll and Perez getting a lot of time that time around and closing us massively here. They could be under fire from those two in the next lap or so. He's coming to the end of number 7 now. They're almost right there behind us. Both of them within DRS range. Go way over the curve at turn 10 and a poor exit as well. Yellow flag again here through turn 9. That's one of the Alpines slow. Who is that? Not quite sure whether it's Gasly or Ocon. It's going to turn number 1 and looking to defend from Stroll and Perez here. One is out the race is Gasly. Our rival eliminated from the Grand Prix in the first attempt that the virtual safety car comes out to cap things off for racing. 8 laps into this thing. Gasly out of the Austrian Grand Prix. Looks to be an internal failure on the car. It's hard to tell what's spray and what's smoke with these cars, but Gasly has to pull the car over to the barriers at between turns 9 and 10. He is out of it, so a positive start for us for our rivalry there. Of course, I'd like to race him on track a bit more, but he's unfortunately out, so not a lot we can do there. But VSC comes to an end here a lap later. On lap number 9 back on the way, and Stroll and Perez will be looking to make a move on us almost immediately here when they close in. About a second back so far. No DRS in this race, of course, thanks to full wet weather as you go through turn 1 and come back down the main straight once again here.
The gap to the car ahead is increasing by a few tenths per lap. Get your head down.
Copy. Let's go get them.
So of course Perez now our main threat as we look to close on Alonso, who's 6.2 to the good right now. Piastri just in front of him there, so we're holding on to Piastri at this stage as we go up the hill once again.
Rain is going to be with us for a while now. Full wet seems like the best tyre for now.
So again, wet weather still looking to be the main forecast for the remainder of this race. Perez there right behind us, not willing to give us an inch here as he closes in all the more every single time. On to lap number 12 now this race. Perez again is about half a second back from us And we're not struggling too badly here as we go through turn 3 once again. But he's there behind us and will pose a definite threat should he get close enough to us to make a move. We're going to use our battery to try and pull away from as much as we can here. Stroll also looking to go for him as well, but Stroll dropping back a bit here. Alonso 7.5 in front of us now, going way too wide there through turn 4, off into the gravel, crucial mistake, and Perez goes through, hits us ever so slightly on the way past. We're down to P9 now, and Perez now takes full advantage and goes dancing on through on the inside and up into our 8th position. We try and run him down in the race, get that spot back, but the Red Bull, of course, just too quick for our AlphaTauri. So despite that, it was a fairy tale moment for the fact we were in P8, P7 earlier on this race, but we are now down to P9. You see the first few cars in the lead pack coming in for their first stop. Looks like Perez is coming in as well. In he goes, so we're going back into P8 once again, and Stroll will be our next threat from behind here as you go on to lap number 13, which will be our pit window opening here as you cross the line going into turn number 1 once again, as we're looking now for a change onto the intermediate tyres, which we decided on late in the lap. And going now to box this time round. Will Stroll join us in the pit lane? I have to wait and see if he follows our line going off the racetrack. He stays out on the racetrack, so Stroll stays out. Sainz behind him stays out. Sainz is closing on us an awful lot as well. Verstappen to the pit lane, fresh intermediate tyres going on to his Red Bull. We're going to avoid getting a pit road penalty here as we come into the pit lane for our first and what should be final stop of this Grand Prix, sure to be getting dry enough for a set of dry tyres. In we come now. Optimal turning into our AlphaTauri pit box. The crew getting to work here on making a change onto intermediates. Very fast stop here, 2.3, releasing the clutch, and we are away here. So another good stop. This team coming in clutch once again. Fantastic stuff they've done in the pit lane all season long so far over these first 10 episodes. It looks like we're going to emerge in front of Zhou Guanyu. Esteban Ocon just behind him as well. Bottas was still with that pack, but he's into the pit lane now. So Perez quite away up the road here and looking to pull further in front if he can here. Sainz and Stroll on the way out the pit lane here, going towards turn 1 for lap number 15 in this race. Going to get in front of both cars and show us the fastest lap. Ocon does as well. So those two quite fast, could come to contender with us later on in the race. Sainz and Zhou both out onto the racetrack once again. And we're going to keep in front of all 4 of these cars behind us here as we continue on to lap number 17. Still Alonso yet to make a stop for intermediate tyres. Yellow flag on the main straight that looks to be Aston Martin himself. Fernando Alonso has a problem of some kind and could be out of this race. To go wide through turn 9 there and wide again through turn 10, losing a lot of time, but Stroll 6 seconds behind us, so we've got a bit of breathing room. And Alonso out of the race here, our second retiree, again struck by mechanical trouble on his Aston Martin. Very, very unfortunate. And he's having such a good race as well as the green flag comes back out for us. He's again chasing Oscar Piastri, who seems to be in his main competition this weekend. He's had a lot of fights with the 2 rookies battling at the front for the points every single race. But Alonso, this time car trouble plagues him, and he goes off at turn 1 as Perez goes shooting on through there to claim another position on his miraculous charge through the field. That'll be another place for us here, so that's back up into 8th place now. So looking to try and gain some more if we can. Norris into the pit lane here very late. I think is that for a second set or a first set of intermediate tyres? He's gone a lot later than everyone else if it's just his first stop, which I think it might be. He's fallen quite a way back compared to everyone else. Of course, he was up there earlier on chasing that lead pack. He's coming to end lap number 19 here. We're halfway through this race here, and Russell into the pit lane as well here. So some guys are just making their first stops quite late. Russell are now on his way out of the pit lane and towards the exit. We'll be fighting him here, going towards turn 1. See who comes out first. We're in front of him there, but he gets a bit more of a run through that first corner. But this time we are well clear in front of the Mercedes here. So we're going to be fighting another major player in Formula 1 right now, in young George Russell, in the Mercedes, our compatriot there, in the Silver Arrows, who looks to defend from him now into P7, and Norris 3.8 in front of us there after only narrowly beating us out of the pit lane earlier on. Is on lap number 20 now. There's still a long way to go, and it's looking like this rain is going to start drying out at some stage, which will be good for us, but could mean a late change onto dry tyres should the opportunity arise for it. Russell right behind us, took him no time at all to close back up. He's going to get to work on making some moves here. No DRS to his advantage, but I assume he's got a lot of battery stored up as we go into the last corner once again here. 16 more laps to go, as I say. Off the last corner, Russell has a better straight line speed than us, going down this main straight towards someone going to defend the inside of the track. Russell moves to the outside, going into that first corner, up the hill into the braking zone. Russell, half a car in front, but we're on the inside here. We're going to force him off onto the sausage curve there and take P7 back. And we have to get the elbows out in order to keep this car behind us. One of the cars a lot faster than ours on the racetrack, regardless of dry or wet. Russell still threatening us here as he pressed further on into the lap. Got a bit wide there at turn number 6. And Russell takes full advantage on our inside into 7 now, side by side with the Mercedes who pulls in front, going through 7. We use our back to try and go on the outside in 8, but can't quite do it. We're going to pull to the inside once again, see if we can get enough of a run for him to give us a bit of space here. On the inside, into the braking zone we go, and on the inside into 9, and up in front of Russell. And there's signs behind us, don't look now, but he's going to try and take both of us if he can. Russell with a great exit there off 10 to begin lap number 22, and now pulls to the outside of the racetrack. We go to the complete wrong side, dumbing us the wrong way completely. Russell a bit more in front, but again, we use the same tactic for let's go. I tried to steer a bit more to the right to avoid to try and give him enough room this time, but it still wasn't enough, so rookie mistake. I doubt George is too happy with us for that one here. And he's still giving us trouble as he comes towards through turn 5 and now towards 6 once again. He's going to pull to the inside. We're going to have to cover him off as best we can here, but a poor exit going around the outside. Now off onto the gravel a little bit there. Russell pulling in front, and that could be the end of the matter here as we go through 7 and then 8. Signs already pressurising us here as we look towards the last few corners once again. There's a car behind him as well as Lance Stroll is on his way back. Norris sets the fastest lap once again here. He's 13 seconds in front of us. We're one of the slowest cars on the racetrack. The fact we're still in the point here is an absolute miracle compared to everyone else today. But we've remained consistent around in this same sort of position. But Russell looks to have us this time around, and Sainz will be our next threat. And just keep an eye on Stroll too. Those guys will be looking to try and battle us in the late stage of this Grand Prix. Sainz right there with us now, off of turn 1, and now going to the right hand side of the racetrack. If we can get enough to run and go for it up the hill into 3, side by side with the Spaniard into the corner. We jump into the braking zone. That's a brake way too late there. Around the outside, but we've gone wide again, like we did in the sprint. And now Sainz takes full advantage and goes through as a warning for track limits. Fair enough, we've lost a place already in the process. So unfortunately, the fairy tale of keeping 2 very strong cars behind us is over. On to lap 28 here, just 8 more laps to go in this Grand Prix. We'll next cross the line, and Stroll is our next threat. Once again, looking challenges here. Poor exit from 4 and now through 5. Stroll with a good run. Won't go for it going into the left-hander at 6. So we have to cover him off as best we can. We've gone wide there, and that will allow Stroll in. He takes the opportunity and goes through on the inside into 9th place. And now we're down in 10th here. Stroll again with a better run on the inside through turn 7 and now through 8. Stroll in front of us. Let's try and get him back as best we can here in these next couple of corners. Onto that 29 we go. Stroll's a bit wide through turn number 1. Going to pull to his right hand side. Going to get onto his back tyre. Going towards 3 once again here. It's been very, very close between us. Let's try not to outbrake ourselves this time. It's very even into the braking zone, but on the exit, get the better drive off on the inside and hold on to 9th place. Can we keep this one under our possession for the rest of the Grand Prix? I have to wait and see here. But the track, as you can see, is drying up an awful lot here as you get towards the late stages. You get to lap number 32 here. You can still see traces of the water. With 4 laps to go, the track is almost completely dried out here, and Stroll will want to pounce as best he can here towards turn 1. Just 4 laps left at the Red Bull Ring in this Austrian Grand Prix. Into turn 1, outbraked ourselves again. They're way too wide compared to where we need to be, and Stroll goes through on the right hand side out of turn 1, sorry, and that'll be P9 from DRS been redeployed. So he uses that to pull away a bit here, going into turn 3, and that'll be the end of the matter in terms of us trying to take away P9 in this race. Let's try to manage P10 if we can. Now Norris and Sainz, so not Norris, that was Piastri, sorry, into the pit lane. Looks like Norris is staying out, but we're seeing a few drivers looking at dry tyres. It was Piastri, sorry, was in the pit lane and not Norris. Sainz, they're behind us here. I have to keep an eye on what the race is choosing to do, because I think Verstappen's gone to softs as well. Those cars behind are all pitted for dry tyres, but Norris has stayed out on them. So I have to see if he can hold on to the end of this race here. Sainz right there behind us. Those soft tyres should mean that we are no match for him here. Going out of turn 3 and towards turn 4. Signs of DRS. There's no point in trying to fight in this stage. We're going to use our battery to try and keep alongside. But look at the bottom right of our screen here as Sainz goes through into P9 to have a check on just what's going on with our machine right now. Norris starts the final lap of the race. Look at that. Our tyres are almost completely shredded, and our engine components are doing pretty poorly too. On to the last lap then, see Norris still there on those intermediate tyres, but Verstappen is closing the gap very quickly. There's a hassle between him and the leader, but Verstappen disposes of him very quickly. The blue flag's coming to his aid. It's going to be a right showdown into the last 2 corners to finish this Grand Prix off. Does Norris have enough? He looks to lap our teammate Nick de Vries. Verstappen is on the warpath. Into the last 2 corners we come, and through turn 10, he's right there behind the Brit as he comes off the corner. Can Norris hold on to it? Verstappen with DRS towards the line, but it's going to be Norris who runs to the line and wins for the first time in Formula 1, takes the win in the Austrian Grand Prix for McLaren. The gamble working perfectly for him. Look at our tyres there. Our back left, 80%, the whole thing's finished. The car is completely done. Sainz nabs the fastest lap at the death of it, and here comes Albon now. He's gaining us rapidly here as he enters the last corner of the Grand Prix, charging towards the line. The tyres completely shredded on the right-hand side towards the line. We've got a puncture at the finish. It's P10 and 1 precious point for us.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Only just hung on to that. Good race, guys. Solid stuff all round. Well, I got to carry this puncture all the way around.
Smiling faces on the pit wall then after that superb win here in Spielberg. And rightly so. A brilliant effort from the whole team. Tell me, Ant, how do they manage to achieve this win?
Well, tyre management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
So there we have it. Lando Norris finally gets his hands on a Formula 1 winner's trophy, winning the Austrian Grand Prix. Verstappen second and Hamilton home in third. So Hamilton can't gain much more of Verstappen in the championship, but we'll have to have a look at the gaps between Norris and Verstappen at the end there, because that was insanely close. As for us, P10 in the end, just the 1 point at the end of the day. All solid. I enjoyed that one. It was a bit wet, but we had a lot of fun. And we'll move on to Silverstone, which is the home race next time round, so it should be a blast there as well.
Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Let's have a look then at the final results from this Austrian Grand Prix. But Norris wins it from Verstappen and Hamilton, Leclerc in 4th, Russell 5th in the end, charged to the field at the end of it with just the 1 stop. Piastri 6th, Perez 7th in the end, Sainz 8th, Stroll 9th with the 1 stop, and we come home 10th with the 1 stop as well. Look at that, 0.08 of a second between Norris and Verstappen at the end. Give it a second more, and Verstappen would have had him, I reckon, but it is what it is. De Vries in the end recovers to P14, a lap down in the end, just got beaten towards the end of the Grand Prix. Look at your Drivers' Championship, still P11 and 4 points off Stroll. Had a chance to close in on him, but couldn't quite do it. But we gained a point over Ocon, so we've moved clear of him this weekend. So up to P11 for outright in the championship, as opposed to being tied. Of course, Gasly, we sit 5 points clear of him in both the standings and the rivalry. We get the full 5 against him this time around. Red Bull still lead the Constructors, Mercedes in 2nd, Ferrari 3rd, and we sit in P9, 1 point, off Alfa Romeo and Williams. So it's our next aim to catch them at our home race at Silverstone next time out. How we get on in the British Grand Prix, let me know down in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this one, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more Formula 1 action as you near the halfway stage of this Driver Career Mode Series Season 1. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day, and goodbye.